All right, today I want to talk about the most powerful force in the universe, and that's compounding interest. And we're going to use the example of money because it's easy to understand, but you can use this in all areas of your life. And it's interesting, we live in a capitalist country, and yet many people have been miseducated to hate capitalism, but they're not even partaking in it. Ice Cube came out with the Platinum Plan to help blacks do better in America, and one of the things he recognized is you have to own assets. And it is true. Like most people, their house is their best investment because for most people, their house is their only investment. But this is a really simple example, and you really got to start thinking in terms of compound interest in all areas of your life and how to make your money work for you. So this is called dailywealth.com. I'll link to the site. They put out 6 articles a week. It's about 1 page long. It's written for the layman. That's free. I don't recommend subscribing to any of their other newsletters. This is fine, just to get your feet wet. But I want to show you what's possible with investing so that you're not out there, angry at capitalism and really selling your future down the river with a lot of these socialist ideas that they never work. These ideas work, and let me show you what I mean. So this is what's possible. How to earn loan shark-like yields in the stock market. This guy writes, Mike Barrett, in 1978, my friend Neil did something unheard of for most people his age. He started funding a retirement that was still 40 years away. So you're 20 today, looking at when you're going to retire around 60. Every month, Neil mailed off $50 checks to a dividend reinvestment plan, DRIP. So all that means is you invest in something that pays you interest, and when you get that interest, you don't take it and spend it, you just reinvest it. So you get 2%, you take that 2% and buy more. So he bought these 4 companies, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, General Mills, and Duke Energy. This is very easy to do. You can do this in any broker for free. It's a few clicks of a mouse to set up. It takes very little money to start in general. There is no more commission costs. There's no excuse. So over the years, Neil set up retirement accounts, contributed regularly, and invested most of his capital into these same 4 companies. He dollar cost averaged in over 4 decades and reinvesting the ever-growing dividends. Neil has amassed large positions in 4 high-quality businesses. So today he can stop reinvesting those dividends, and you can just a few clicks of a mouse, and it starts going into your checking account. You add and add to your position till you like what's being paid out, and then it's like a job without having to even go to a job. So they write the strategy gets more powerful the earlier you begin, but if you have some catching up to do, chances are it's not too late to start compounding your wealth, compounding interest. So to better appreciate what Neil did, let's take a look at Johnson & Johnson, a stock he purchased 40 years ago. The first share, say 1 share, if he just bought 1 share in 1981, it has turned into 81 shares. Because the stock is split 5 times. Every 1 share. So if he bought 100 shares, he has 8,100 shares today. Okay, the buy and hold. I don't know who says buy and hold's dead. It depends what you buy and hold. So Johnson & Johnson currently pays an annual dividend of $3.60. That translates to a yield about 2.6%. So in other words, Neil's $85 investment in 1978 will generate $300 a year in dividends, an incredible 350% yield on his initial investment. Think about that. If you give someone $85 40 years ago, they will pay you $300 a year every single year for that loan. That's 350% interest every year. And he doesn't have to sell because it's capitalism, because the wealth keeps growing and compounding and growing and compounding. And you can do that with $85. Now, $300 a year is not going to, pay all your bills, But what if you'd invested more than $85, you know? And that's the dividends. Those 81 shares are worth almost $12,000 today. So, you can really see how it's not only the interest paid, but the stock itself goes up over time. You're compounding wealth on top of compounding wealth. And then you spread it out against various other companies, and a modest investment can become extraordinarily powerful. So Neil understood the power of compound interest and will be reaping its benefits for the rest of his life. But I don't have 40 years left to compound my investment capital. You're in luck. As long as you have 10 to 20 years left to invest, you still have sufficient time to assemble a portfolio earning high yields on your initial stake. So he talks about buying them when they go on sale. That's, we saw a panic. We saw a big panic in March. As stock prices go down, the dividend comes up. You can lock in higher rates. But you can read the rest of the article. He talks about Microsoft and the price you pay and how much you can end up earning. But I don't have any fancy job. I don't have anything. I've never had incredible earnings. It's okay, but I've done this strategy with a company called Altria. They make cigarettes. Now you got to overcome your morality. They're just letters. They're a combination of letters. Some go up, some go down. You got to buy the best ones. So I bought Altria in 2005 when I, first real job out of college, and I spent $2,000 on, I forget how many shares, but $2,000, which is roughly what it costs to smoke for a year. I took $2,000 and bought a company that sells cigarettes. And so I started reinvesting the dividends. Well, it's not just that you earn 3% interest, we'll say. It's every year now for 50 years, and this is not a stock recommendation because the company's facing some serious headwinds, but every year for 50 years, they've raised that percentage. So if it's 3%, the next year it's 3.5%. The next year it's 4%. The next year it's 5%. And then you're reinvesting your dividends, and they're also raising what they pay out. I've done this for 15 years straight now, and I now earn my $2,000 back every single year. So my initial investment was $2,000, and as of 2020, I get $2,000 a year. Do you see the power of compounding interest? Now, I hope this is clear. If it's not, let me know. We can cover it more. I can try and find other articles. But this is an incredibly powerful idea. For 1 year of being a non-smoker, I took the money a smoker would spend, $2,000, bought smoking companies, and now for the rest of my life, I get $2,000 a year. And of course, I just keep plowing it into more Altria. Because the idea is, it's been 15 years. Well, in another 15 years, where's it going to be? And so if you want to do some research, these are called dividend aristocrats. They're not only companies that pay dividends, but they have raised that dividend for 25 or more years. And you can do this, you gotta do some amount of work, right? Like if you're going to get a master's degree, stop that junk and learn how to manage money. Okay, Coca-Cola you've heard of, 58 years. Johnson & Johnson, 57 years. Lowe's Company, 57 years. You just pick 4 or 5 of these and put a small amount every 3 months or whatever you decide to do. And stick with it, reinvest the dividends, let them raise the dividends like they've done every year for 60 years, and just watch the compounding happen. Now, you can do this in other areas of your life. Like, take, for example, my YouTube channel. I have sort of a interest in conspiracies, and I talk to people at work, say, a lot of times, and I have a dozen to maybe 24 people that have become very, very skeptical of our institutions because of institutional ideological infiltration. Well, 3 or 4 years ago, then I started my YouTube channel. I started reading Aesop's Fables. I remember I was getting 1 viewer per day. And then I just kept putting out videos. And then I remember I got up to 2 viewers per day. And then for a while in 2020, I was getting about 4,000 views per month. And then there was a bunch of weird stuff that happened on November 3rd. And then they seem to have let their foot off the throat, and I'm up to about 5,500 in the past month on YouTube. And then I've started really working on my BitChute channel, and I'm at about 4,000 there. So I've got 9,000 people in the past 30 days that are listening to me put out these ideas they don't hear in the mainstream, ideas that challenge them, ideas that make them think, ideas that help them do their own research, start looking at the world not through the lens that the mainstream media and the mainstream educational system and the mainstream, these people want you to be serfs. They want you to be plebs. They don't want you figuring this stuff out. It's very simple. This is a very simple process you can set up with just a few clicks of your mouse, but you just have to go outside because they don't teach it. They don't teach it in high school. They don't teach it in college. They teach you things like efficient market hypothesis, which anyone that spends a week managing their own money realizes is total bunk. I mean, it's even faker than global warming. So I want you to get your mind thinking, how can I leverage this? Because look at my YouTube now. I can be sleeping, I can be working. Who knows what I'm doing when you listen to my voice? But my ideas now are working for me, and when I release a new video, it's not just one isolated video on the internet. I've released 365 videos. This is 366. It grows, it pyramids. And so I get these ideas out to more and more people, and I'm just one guy. I'm one small guy. You get 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 people pushing this information out. And this is why you see Donald Trump's approval rising after the events in DC, rather than crashing like the mainstream media is wanting them to crash. It's just hysterical what they're doing. But it's the power of people that are utilizing this idea of compound interest. And it takes many different shapes and it takes many different forms. But I want you to see that it is possible. It's possible for you to do with your own money. It's possible to start today. So particularly if you smoke and you stop smoking, just think of all the money you'll have. It's about $2,000 a year. That's 20 grand in 10 years to invest just by being a non-smoker. You can do this. You can do this. And once you get a knack for it, it'll change your life. So if you got any questions, let me know. I'll try. I know this is kind of hard because most people have no foundation for understanding these sorts of ideas. And if there's interest in investment discussions, I can do more videos on that because I've been at this for 16, 17 years, and I've been moderately successful. I'm certainly no professional. Think of me like the guy that's sitting there at the bar like, "Psst, hey, you. I got an idea I got to tell you about." It's that sort of thing. But yeah, think about it. Think about compound interest. It's the most powerful force in the universe.